I am Alicia Anderson, known as Minister Alicia Anderson. I was ordained last year, July 17th, as a ordained minister. So let me address me in the order that I should address. But everybody who knows me as Ali, Ali for short for Alicia, I am the director of Life the Rebirth. Now, rebirth is about restoring faith, hope, and love to tainted lives through the sharing of the gospel of Jesus Christ, demonstrating the love of God, and through my own personal testimonies. Not testimony, but testimonies, because there are many testimonies. Where do I start? Now, I grew up in the Catholic Church, right? So you're looking at somebody who grew up in church, but you know when you not understand church life and you want just you grow up seeing your sisters and your brother going out having fun, so you want to have fun too. Growing up, as I said, I grew up in the Catholic Church. How I knew the Catholic Church to be back then, don't know if it is now, is that you can party, you can drink, you can have sex, and you're still going to mass either on a Saturday or on a Sunday. We would leave church when it's carnival time to go to carnival, to watch the carnival. I sometimes jumped in the kiddies carnival, and in my latter years, I jumped in the adult carnival. For me, I kind of was a little bit skeptic of the Catholic Church. Reason being, from what I read in the Word, it to me was just contradictory for me. The guidelines that they had, and you had to be praying to Mary through the Mother of God, and the whole 9 years. I just said something was a little bit off. So I went astray, and in going astray, let's say in going astray, there was a lot of things that were happening. And with that, I started taking overdose on anything that I saw in the house. Once it's in a pill buckle, I'm climbing up because a lot of things were happening. I don't really want to go into much of that, but a lot of things was happening, and to me, just felt like I either wanted to die or I wanted to run away. Run away from everything that I was feeling. So anything that I could catch my hands on, I would be popping it. Sometimes with alcohol, sometimes 5 to 6 different liquors mixed up together to be taking these pills. It started with 1 or 2, then it went to 5, it went to 10. In high school, it went to 25, then it went to 50. I grew up, I was married, right? At a very young age, it was something that was repeatedly happening. I didn't tell anybody about it. So in my teenage years, the overdose got worse. The drinking got worse. People would have said that I was a troubled child, but they wouldn't understand that there was a lot of things that was happening around me, and there was nobody who I could say, like, Nadia, this is happening, right? Or if you would believe me if I told you it was happening. And there were many attempts that I made in committing suicide. It led to me drinking more till it reached to where I was of the age now where I could actually go clubbing on my own, partying on my own. So at that time, I am smoking a 20-pack in less than half an hour. That's how stressed I was. I remember at one point, I went to my doctor and I said to my doctor, I hate the way that I feel. Give me something to take this feeling away. And she put me on antidepressants. Tried that antidepressant made me feel worse. I came off of it. I was like, I'm not doing this. So for me, to fuel my hurt and my anger and the pain that I was feeling, I would go out and I'd have fun by just going to clubs, just dancing, having fun, drinking, smoking, the whole 9 yards, thinking you're living the life. Because for me, I grew up sheltered in a sense where it was school, church, home, doctor office. That's it. So at 23, I met this guy. who, after we exchanged numbers and we spoke, he told me he had a baby mother. Now, me always tell myself from me a little girl, I'm not going to be any man's second best. If I'm not the girl for him, the main girl, I don't want to get involved. I don't believe in people being in relationships and messing with somebody's relationship. Cause me know why you do that with mine, so I'm not gonna do it with yours. So I explained to him that no, I can't be anything but a friend to you. And I said, but then again, you men don't know what friends mean or know what friends with benefits, and I'm not doing that. And I literally cut him off. 2006, the September of 2006, I remember I was at work and I was in a lot of pain. From as early as I can remember as a child, I had trouble with joint pains. Went to the doctor on several occasions. They tested for Lyme disease, sickle cell, you name it. Everything came back out negative. So they ruled out a slight touch of arthritis. I remember my mother took me to a rheumatoid arthritis doctor, which he gave me some stuff which said would have built up my immune system, but that actually made me started bringing up blood. So I had to come off of it. So with the pains that I kept on, that I was feeling, we didn't know exactly what it was apart from the slight touch of arthritis. So when he saw me, I explained what was happening. He said he was sorry to hear if I took anything for it. And he said, it would be nice when he's going to the country, because he's going to the country now, but when he's going again, to take me for a ride. And I said, okay, that's not a problem. We exchanged numbers again. And in doing that, in the night, I went out with him. We went to one of the hangout spots I would hang out at, and we ended up drinking, dancing, having fun, till we ended up having, and this was not protected, it was unprotected. When I got home, I started beating up myself because I'm saying, Ali, what if you get pregnant? That was something that I always said, I don't want to get pregnant in my parents' house. After that, I think, yeah, I was going to church. I was going to church at that time. So there are many times that I'd be living the risky lifestyle, but I'm going to church. No, I don't know about anybody else. I can speak about me. For me, I didn't like the idea that I'm out partying, drinking, smoking while I am going to church. I'm not one of those persons who, you're sinning, but you're going on pulpit and you're preaching and you're doing praise and worship. No, that wasn't me. I felt very uncomfortable, but I believe the Lord was pulling me. And now I understand why. Because the Lord has had his hand on me from I was in my mother's womb, from I was conceived. So, in spite of all the mistakes that I made and was still going to church, living a sinful life, God has always had his hand on me. So, in spite of sinning, having sex outside of marriage, there was a pull to go to church. And for me, church is a solitude. It's a place of peace for me, right? And with that, the second guy, somebody who I knew from my workplace. So these three guys that I'm gonna tell you about is from my workplace. I know them. So if you've watched my videos before, I would always label them because I would not give out their identity. It's guy number one. So guy number one was the September guy who I slept with unprotected. Guy number two is the November guy, which is somebody that I knew. He would normally come to my workplace to service, not me, but the machine. And, when he came, we exchanged numbers. I knew he liked me for a very long time, but it just wasn't the right time for us to be together. So the November meeting are the clear reason why I was in the clear, because guy number one, the only time he saw me or wanted to see me is to take me out of town to have with me. So it wasn't let's go to dinner, let's go to the movies, let's go for ice cream. No, good girl wasn't that good enough to go to. I was just good enough to open my legs. And with that, I ended the relationship. I honestly believe that I deserve more than that. With that being said, moved on to guy number 2, and he was kind of different. We would hang out at the clubs, drink, have fun, but he wasn't off the hook as guy number 1, right? He was just a little bit better, but not off the hook. And then I remember the December, I remember, because I'm going out with the guy that I'm with, you don't want to hear that you're bushy. Them need to get whack and all sort of something, say, right? So as a female, we take care of ourselves. So I had shaved down there, and I remember there was something hard that was down there, which I later found out that it's a wax and kernel. It was an ingrown hair. It's a wax and kernel, which is like a swollen lymph node. And eventually it got better. I remember guy number 1, he came to visit me one day, and he took me for a drive out, and he said, Ali, for those who know me as Ali, that's not what he called me. He called me by my maiden name. But in protecting of my family, I won't disclose what the maiden name is. And he said, you can't jump from relationship from one to another. For me, I don't know if anybody's like me, but I don't like to be alone. So as one done, I want to find somebody to settle with. So I think that was the case for me back then, probably still is. And he said, you can't be jumping from relationship from one to the other. And I said, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm with you. I ended it with you. He said to me, are you using protection with the other guy? I said, no. And I said, but why are you asking? It's not like you use protection with me. My girl, because I don't like using whatever. So, he said to me, the reason why I'm talking to you like a big brother, is because I find out, say, my sister just find out that she have AIDS, and she did War 21. Now, what people fail to understand is you have to catch HIV first before it goes to AIDS. I hear a lot of people say, me do an AIDS test. There's nothing called an AIDS test. It is called an HIV test. HIV is a virus that leads to the disease, which is called AIDS. So when he said it, I wasn't paying it any mind. The January, I remember I was at Genesis, and I left from Genesis, and I went to guy number 2's house. And after we had, I told him about guy number 1, and that guy number 1 was coming back, and he was messing with me, and he said, Alicia, the one thing, no, sorry, he said to me that, me have to go home to my baby mother. When I hooked up with guy number 2 in the November, he had said to me that he don't get the butterflies with his baby mother anymore, plus she soon go away. As I said before, I don't like the idea of messing with somebody's relationship. I don't know what overtook me, why I decided to work with guy number 2. And so when he told me, I remember going home to my baby mother, he said we're going to have to start using condoms. So then and there, I started working with condoms. The last time that I slept with him, he didn't have any condoms. I didn't have any condoms. He said he was too tired to go and get the condoms. So he said the only thing he would do is pull out. I was used to men pulling out, and I think I was just naive back then, thinking that it was a man's duty to protect me. Nadia, you know that HIV AIDS is not as prevalent as it was back then. The knowledge that is out there and stuff. So nobody not really, that was like under the mat kind of a thing back then, but now it's widespread, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand anything what was happening. I just know that I was going through a lot, and I was looking for love in the wrong places. I remember I spoke with Kevin Downswell. He and I became very close, and he said to me one day, Alicia, these 2 guys are not for you. You need to just, like he said, Alicia, you need to stop playing with God. And I said, Kevin, I'm not playing with God. It's just that 1 minute I want the things of God, and the next minute more on the road, because growing up it was church, home, doctor, going out with your parents is not, you understand? So I want to be able to live life. And I broke it off with the both of them. And the February, there was this other guy, as I said, at my workplace, guy number 3. He kept on bothering me. And I said, all right, probably if you play the idiot and just give him a try, he will leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. We started hanging out. It was fun because the other 2 wasn't really doing that much. And started hanging out. It was fun. But he became very obsessive and possessive. Like I'd be at work and I'm on the phone talking to somebody. My phone is beeping. Who is that you're on the phone talking to? Somebody in a blue shirt come to me and then probably hug me. Who is that person? I'm like, what? Are you watching me? This is crazy. I had to go to 2 doctors who realized that I was under a lot of stress. I had to get sick leave from work, and I blocked guy number 3. I slept with guy number 3 only once, and with that I got a big tear, and I had to go to the gynecologist to clear it up. With that being said, I ended the relationship with everybody, and I decided, Ali, you ran a little risk. 3 guys within the space of September to February. This is not you. What the heck? You need to go get yourself, make sure you're good. So the March, which was a couple of days before my dad's birthday, I went over to the doctor's office and I said, hey, do you have any test that can test me for herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, you name it? And she said, yes, we have a panel of tests. I said, test me. She tested me. I got back the results within a couple of days. And so it was the test, which was the blood work, the actual blood work. And I got back the results, and the results said negative. So I said, thank you, Jesus, good girl, good. Yeah, girl, you need for thing. And then my sister, because I have 2 sisters who are doctors, so one of them was overseas at the time, and I was telling her, she said, Alicia, thank God it was negative. She says, you can't look on somebody with your naked eye and tell that they have a STD, STI. So she's like, next year, just protect yourself, etc. So I'm like, all right, good girl, good. I'm at work. I don't know if you all know the Carl Stone and Rosie Stone story, but Rosie Stone came out with her book, No Stones Unturned. And she was featured in the Observer and the Gleaner at the time. So my coworker said, Ali, read this. And when I looked on it, I said, I can't read it. It's not that I have anything against people who are living with it, but me just love Bali and it's too sensitive. Not knowing that the Lord was preparing me. Before destruction come, there's always a warning. And let me tell you this. After that, my godfather, who is into insurance, he came, and normally I'd have to do no medical, and even if I had to, good girl, don't need to worry about nothing but good, right? And he came, and the policy had to change, so I had to do the medical. While I was doing the medical, guy number 1 calls, because this was the let's hook up. He asked me where I was, and I told him. He said, what and what you're doing? And I told him. So he said, what make you have to do that one? I said, sir, because it's a part of the requirement. And he asked again, and it became annoying. So I came off the phone. No, before I came off the phone, I said to him, I said, what are you worried about? I said, you and I know that I tested last month, and I'm good. So what are you worried about? Came off the phone, did the blood work. The doctor asked me my medical history. So the only thing we know is diabetes and my trouble with joint pain and have allergy, serious sinus issues. So she said, well, whatever it is, they'll be able to find it in the blood. So, all right. One thing me did, I think about Nadia, hope says not cancer. Because nobody wants that to find out that I have cancer. And it so happened that I kept on missing a lot of calls from the insurance place. But in my mind, it wasn't logically thinking it, but me I said, why my godfather call me from the office phone? Why I'm not just using cell phone to cell phone, right? So I kept on missing the call till it was the month of May. It's either May 20th or May 21st. The dates are a little bit blurred for me, but in the month of May, I remember it was a Monday. I got a phone call from the same number. I answered it, and it was a doctor, and she said, we've been trying to reach out to you for the longest while. So in my message, Jesus, I hope I cancer. So she says, can you come? So I said, can I come now? She said, no. I said, okay, can I come tomorrow? She said, sure. I reached out and I called guy number 1. And I said, why would the insurance place call me? Because I am naive to all that is happening, right? Because my godfather would always take care of whatever needed to do with the insurance.
Uh-huh.
So he asked me again, what did I do? And I told him. He says, that's what you have.
Hey guys, what's up beautiful people? It's your girl Nadia Official. People, last night in the wee hours to the early morning, I had a live discussion with this beautiful lady, Alicia Anderson. And this is part 1 of that live. I will be posting part 2 shortly. And please, I'm asking you guys to support her book. Her book, you can find it on Amazon, and it's called My Journey Through Grace. And you guys just can go on Amazon and type in Alicia Anderson, My Journey Through Grace, and it will pop up. It's a book with a big HIV writing on it, with a beautiful picture of this young lady. So please support the book. It's only $7 for the soft copy. And if you guys want a hard copy, I think it's $14. So you guys can look on Amazon and just support it, because it's going to a good cause, right there. So, and it goes more in depth in her story, her background, and everything. It gives more details, because you know, so we can't sit down and discuss everything in the book. So she just tell you the highlights or the high points. But you guys, if you want to get in deep, up close and personal, support the book. This book is good to give to teenagers or nieces and nephew, young people and stuff like that. It's a book to bring awareness to the situation, and she tell her wonderful story. So please guys, support the thing. It's for a good cause. And I will post part 2 of the story. That's why you guys have to tune into my pages, because you never know when I'm going to go live, and you never know what you might miss. So you guys, if you're not following me, you guys can follow Naked with Nadia Unfiltered on Facebook, Naked with Nadia on YouTube, and on Instagram and TikTok, it's Nadia_official_FR. And in part 2, when I post part 2, you will have all of Alicia's social media. So if you want to get contact with Alicia, stay tuned for part 2, where you will hear all the information on how you can get in contact with her. But for right now, do the right thing, man, and support our book on Amazon, because I'm telling you, she definitely leave nothing unturned or nothing unsaid. Everything was said in that book. Big up on yourself out there, people. Big respect to each and every one of you guys who take time out of your busy schedule to watch a video from me. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the share. Big respect to each and every one of you. Bless up on yourself. Peace. I'm out. Bye.